What if you could walk through streets filled with tango music? Then the next day, ride past glaciers that shine like glass in the sunlight. What if you could sip red wine under the Andes Mountains, then hike across windy trails with no one else around for miles? Welcome to Argentina, a country of colors, contrasts, and wild open spaces that will take your breath away. In this video, we're going on a dreamy ride through some of Argentina's most beautiful and unforgettable places, both famous wonders and quiet hidden gems. You'll discover waterfalls that roar like thunder, lakes that look like mirrors, and towns where time moves slower than you think possible. From the heart of Buenos Aires to the edges of Patagonia, this is not a guidebook tour. This is Argentina, seen with wonder told through images and stories that will stay in your mind long after the video ends. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let yourself dream. Because this journey starts now. Argentina is the 8th largest country on Earth, but it's filled with places that make you feel like you're the only one there. It has the highest peak in the Americas, Aconcagua, and one of the widest streets in the world right in Buenos Aires. Tango was born here, not in a grand ballroom, but in the working-class streets filled with stories of longing and fire. Argentina is also home to penguins, flamingos, jaguars, and even dinosaurs. Fossils found here go back 90 million years. The country has deserts and glaciers, wine valleys and wetlands, and each region feels like a world of its own. There's a bookstore inside an old theater in Buenos Aires, and it might be the most beautiful place in the world to read. Argentinians love their mate tea, and they carry it everywhere in parks, buses, and even mountain trails. Football is more than a sport here. It's something holy. Messi isn't just a player, he's a part of people's hearts. Now that you know a little more, get ready to fall in love with the places that make Argentina unforgettable. Buenos Aires is not just a city, it's a feeling you can't quite name, like music you know by heart. You walk through cobblestone streets in San Telmo, where street artists paint dreams on the walls and old tango tunes float in the air. In La Boca, the houses are painted like crayons, red, blue, yellow, because this city doesn't believe in gray. Sit at a sidewalk cafe in Palermo, order an empanada and a glass of Malbec, and watch the world dance by. This is a place where bookstores fill old mansions, where people clap when a plane lands, and where strangers treat you like family. Go to Recoleta Cemetery, where statues cry silently, and every tomb has a story, including that of Eva Perón. Then head to the waterfront at Puerto Madero, where our old docks became shining towers and calm walks by the river. By night, Buenos Aires comes alive with milongas, where dancers move so slowly and close, it feels like they're breathing the same dream. It's not a city you visit, it's a city you feel. And once it touches you, it never lets go. Imagine standing on a wooden path above the jungle and hearing a deep thunder that seems to rise from the ground. Then you turn the corner, and the sky disappears into water. This is Iguazú Falls, one of the most powerful and magical waterfalls on Earth. The sound is so loud, you feel it in your chest, like the world's heart is beating right in front of you. Hundreds of waterfalls crash down over cliffs covered in mist and green, with butterflies dancing in the air like confetti. There's a walkway that takes you to the Devil's Throat, the biggest and wildest part of the falls, where rainbows appear out of thin air. Monkeys swing through the trees. Toucans flash like stained glass and cotis peek out from behind the rocks. It feels like a place from a dream, loud, alive, and endless. This isn't just water falling. It's time stopping. Patagonia is the edge of the world, and it feels like the sky is closer here. The land stretches wide and open with winds that sing and mountains that rise like sleeping giant. Some days you'll walk for hours and never see another person. Only wild horses, silent lakes, and clouds moving like ships. It's a place for people who love silence, who dream of stars without streetlights, and stories told by firelight. The air here is cold, clean, and sharp, like it's never been touched before. You can ride horses with gauchos across golden fields, or just sit by a blue lake that doesn't move, not even a ripple. You feel small in Patagonia, but not in a bad way. More like the world is finally big enough for your dreams. Come here not to find answers, but to remember how to wonder. Perito Moreno Glacier doesn't just sit quietly. It moves, groans, cracks, and crashes like a living thing. This isn't ice you look at from far away. This is ice you hear. Huge towers of blue rise up from the lake, glowing like frozen light. Every few minutes, a block the size of a house falls into the water with a sound like thunder. And still the glacier keeps growing, one of the few in the world that hasn't shrunk. Walk along the platforms that face it, and you'll feel like you're staring at a sleeping beast. The colors change as the sun moves, white to blue to silver to deep sea green. If you take a boat ride or an ice trek, you can get so close it doesn't seem real. Touch the ice, hear it breathe, and remember, this is not just frozen water. This is time captured in crystal. El Chaltén is a town made for hikers, dreamers, and people who still believe in magic. It sits at the foot of Mount Fitzroy, a jagged peak so sharp it looks drawn by a child with too much imagination. This is Argentina's hiking capital, where every trail leads to something beautiful. You don't need to be an expert. Just follow the paths and let the land guide you. Laguna Capri gives you mountain reflections so perfect, they feel like paintings. The hike to Laguna de los Tres takes you through forest rivers and up to a view that will leave you breathless. And even if you don't walk far, the town itself is pure peace. No traffic lights, no noise. Just stars at night, wind in the morning, and fresh bread from the local bakery. El Chaltén teaches you how to slow down and listen again. Bariloche looks like a town out of a fairy tale, where the Alps meet Patagonia and chocolate flows like dreams. Set on the shores of Lake Nahuelhuapi, with snowy peaks all around, this place feels like a postcard come to life. You can hike, kayak ski, or just sit at a cafe and stare at the water for hours. The lake changes color with the sky. Sometimes deep blue, sometimes silver, sometimes gold at sunset. Take a chairlift up Cerro Campanario, and you'll see one of the best views in the world, with forests, mountains, and water stretching forever. Bariloche is also famous for its chocolate, and walking down Mitre Street feels like a sweet dream. It's a place that welcomes you with warmth, even when it's cold. You come here to feel calm, to eat well, and to watch the mountains glow in the morning. It's not just a town, it's a memory you'll want to keep forever. Imagine sipping a glass of red wine while the Andes rise behind you, glowing pink in the evening sun. This is Mendoza, Argentina's wine country, where slow days and long sunsets are a way of life. The region is dry and sunny, with vineyards that stretch to the horizon and snow-capped peaks that make every view feel like a painting. Malbec is the king here, rich, dark, full of soul, and you can taste it right where it's made. You don't need to rush. The wineries are built for long lunches, quiet walks, and stories shared over cheese and chocolate. Many a family run, and they'll welcome you with open arms and a toast that feels like friendship. Ride a bike from vineyard to vineyard, under old trees and past olive groves that smell like summer. Even if you don't drink wine, you'll find beauty in the silence, the wide open skies, and the feeling that time doesn't matter here. At night, the stars come out brighter than you've ever seen, and everything becomes still. Mendoza is not just a place, it's a gentle pause in the middle of the world. Quebrada de Humahuaca is not just a valley, it's a journey through color, culture, and time. The rocks here aren't gray or brown. They are red, orange, yellow, even green, like layers of history painted on the earth. Each hill tells a story, and the most famous one is the Hill of Seven Colors, standing like a rainbow, turned to stone. Villages like Permamaca and Tilcara sit quietly in the shade of these mountains, with markets full of woven ponchos, handmade jewelry, and warm local smiles. This is a place where traditions are still alive, where music flows from small windows and food is cooked slowly with care. At night, bonfires crackle, and the stars feel close enough to touch, while Andean flutes play softly in the background. It's a place that feels both ancient and alive, where you can walk through the past and find yourself in the present. Quebrada de Humahuaca is a quiet wonder. A place that doesn't shout, but whispers something you'll never forget. Valdez Peninsula is where Argentina meets the wild, and nature puts on a show like nowhere else. Here you can watch whales jump from the ocean just meters from the shore, so close you'll feel the splash in your soul. Sea lions crowd the beaches, penguins waddle between bushes, and orcas patrol the coast in one of the most unique hunting techniques on Earth. It's raw, real, and unforgettable. The landscape looks empty at first, just dry steppe and lonely roads. But wait long enough and life begins to appear. Armadillos, guanacos, ostrich-like schweiks, all moving slowly under the wide sky. In Punta Tombo, you can walk beside thousands of Magellanic penguins, little black and white travelers that return here every year to raise their chicks. And the silence out here? It's not empty. It's full of wind wings and waves. This is the kind of place that changes how you see the world and reminds you that the wild still lives strong and free. Tierra del Fuego means land of fire, but here the fire is in the sky, the sea, and the stories. This is the southernmost edge of Argentina, the last stop before Antarctica, where mountains meet the ocean and forests whisper in the cold wind. Ushuaia is the main town, often called the end of the world, where colorful houses sit between snowy peaks and deep blue water. But the real beauty lies just beyond, In the quiet of the Beagle Channel where seals float, birds dive, and silence feels sacred. You can sail to islands filled with sea lions and lighthouses, or hike through mossy forests where everything is green and damp and alive. Sometimes the clouds sit so low, it feels like you're walking through dreams. The weather changes in minutes, from sun to rain to snow, but somehow it all feels right. This land is not gentle, but it is honest, wild, and full of awe. It's a place that shows you how small we are, and how beautiful that can be. The Andes are not just mountains. They are a backbone of stone that runs through the soul of Argentina. They rise like giants, white-tipped, fierce, ancient, and they seem to touch everything. In the north, they are dry and painted in reds and golds. In the south, they're covered in forests, lakes, and snow. Everywhere they shape the land, the weather, the way people live and dream. Aconcagua, the tallest mountain in the Americas, stands like a silent god, watching over vineyards, valleys, and skies that never end. The Andes have their own rhythm, slow, deep, eternal. You can hike through their passes, ride horses along old trails, or simply sit and stare and feel something shift inside you. They hold glaciers, salt flats, volcanoes, deserts, and a peace that's hard to explain. If you listen closely, the mountains speak. Not with words, but with wind and light and silence. Now you've seen it. The wild, the still, the colorful, the calm. From the roar of Iguazú to the hush of Patagonia, from the tango in Buenos Aires to the silence of the Andes. Argentina is not just a place you visit, it's a feeling you carry with you. memory that moves like wind over grass. Soft, surprising, unforgettable. If this journey stirred something in you, share it. Let others dream too. And if you ever find yourself under Argentine skies, remember to look up. There's always more to see, and the story is never over.